and Karen, and we are so blessed to be the host and hostess tonight. Very honored. The lady we are about to introduce has been our mentor, and we are so pleased to call her our friend as well. Mrs. Lois Kofi has coached thousands of people all over the world on their health, well-being, and business. She was a sales trainer in the real estate industry for 7 years with lots of success. Her husband, Mr. Didier Kofi, has been in the IT industry for 25 years as a high-level leader and expert on mobile app success, engaged as a consultant at Best Buy. Their organization spans the world in the US, Africa, Europe, Canada, and Mexico, and they produced $40,000 in sales volume in their first 30 days with iBuumerang. They were named members of the top 10 recruiters worldwide after just 2 weeks, and they earned $6,000 in commission in their first month with iBuumerang. But the most important thing of all is they are parents to 3 beautiful kids. They've been married for 10 years. Their dream is to grow a global business and travel the world with iBuumerang, creating thousands of business partners while becoming one of the fastest growing organizations in the company. Their secret to success is engaging discipline through their disappointments and never giving up on their goals. Please welcome and give your attention to Mrs. Kofi. Thank you so much. Mrs. Kofi, are you ready?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, ma'am.
Awesome. And can you see me as well?
I can't see you. We would love to see you tonight. There you are. You're wearing your very cool iBuumerang Vibe jacket. I love it.
That's right, baby. Product of the product.
Right. I am loving all the new Vibe and iBuumerang gear.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for being amazing hosts. Karen and Scott have been a huge, huge asset. I'm so grateful for you guys to be a part of this team, and super excited to see you next week here in San Diego, and of course in June in Cancun.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and mute us if you are ready to go, ma'am. Okay.
We're ready to rock and roll. Thank you so much. So I just really appreciate you guys, whoever's watching, whether you're watching it live or the recording. And my name is Lois Kofi, as she shared, and she shared with you a lot of our successes that my husband and I have, been blessed and honored and fortunate to have. However, it definitely wasn't easy, and it didn't start out that way. We've also had a lot of failure and a lot of moments where times were tough financially, times were tough mentally, and we found our health and wealth were in peril. And about 5 years ago, we found the leadership of this amazing company that you're going to hear about tonight in iBuumerang. We found them through other opportunities, other businesses, and they found us at a time where we were actually, my husband and I, had been married for about 6 years, and at that time, he had lost his job a total of 4 times in the first 6 years of our marriage. And through that process, we were barely making it. We had more month at the end of money, if you know what I mean. And we got to a point where we were late on our rent, and our landlord evicted us from our home, and we were facing homelessness basically as a family of 4. And it was at that time that we found Mr. Holton Buggs and Mr. and Mrs. Sam and Kim Bean. And through that process, they took us under their wings. They mentored us in business, in life, in mindset. And ironically, I have an autoimmune disease, right, which is kind of a big deal to say that right now during this coronavirus scare. But they taught us emotional intelligence, and they taught us the power of the subconscious mind is actually what 90% of our reality in life, whether it's finances, health, success, whatever that definition is for you. Your reality is created, 90% of it is through your subconscious mind. So literally, because of their mentorship, I've almost never been sick. And I know that sounds crazy. It wasn't necessarily about any health and wellness product. It was about what was going on between, these 2 ears, and that checkup from the neck up. They really help us wake up and transform our lives. And we were super honored when we got the call just over a year ago to say, hey, do you want to help us birth this new company? Do you want to help us create this amazing opportunity? And we were the first people in Minnesota at the time to bring this company to the marketplace. So tonight we're going to talk about that. And go ahead, next slide, Karen. So we are a network marketing company. However, what you need to know is there's a lot in common with us when it comes to Facebook, companies like Amazon, companies like Uber. If you didn't realize it, those companies are also network marketing, right? Network marketing is essentially referring your friends and family to a free site or to a product or a service, to, you know, to a movie. You know, a lot of us referred all of our friends to Facebook. A lot of us referred all of our friends to Amazon. And did we get paid for any of that? No. We helped Mark Zuckerberg build his billions, Jeff Bezos his billions, and then of course I could go on and on and on and on about all these companies that are now on this social platform. Also, click and order. You know, Amazon has shut down hundreds of businesses. A lot of brick and mortars have closed. You know, consider Barnes and Noble, consider Blockbuster, you know, consider even Macy's stores and JCPenney. My husband worked for Best Buy, and they were at a critical turning point where before they had an app and before e-commerce had really taken off for them, they were shutting stores left and right. And people were losing jobs left and right. And it's because of my husband and his team. They created an app that now produces billions of dollars, and their e-commerce site also. And that's what saved Best Buy from potentially going under. So Mr. Bugs, our owner of iBuumerang, who is making $1 million every 3 weeks with another traditional network marketing company, he created iBuumerang and started an evolution, or a revolution as we like to call it. And I'm going to explain more about that. Go ahead on the next slide. So we're creating a first-class consumer experience for our customers in all that we're offering. In this Amazon age where everyone is instant gratification, tapping an app, and all of a sudden something's showing up at their door within minutes, you know, that's what people are used to. We're also knowing that success without selling for anybody who partners with us tonight, that's a big deal, because most companies, and I've sold real estate, I've sold fitness, no matter what I was selling, I had to sell at a high level to make a lot of money. And with us, you don't have to do that. There's equal opportunity for everyone. Next slide. So we're taking network marketing from the taxi cab era, where customers are pretty much used to paying more retail and only the strongest recruiters win, to, next slide please, into the modern era. So we have the ability to invest, and you have the ability to invest in this technology and make money only when customers save money. And as well as we have the technology, which I'm going to talk about on the next slide, you can go ahead, to help you succeed with amazing, amazing support. And it's all under, again, this gentleman who I've already named a couple times, this visionary leader, Mr. Holden Buggs, who, as you can see on this timeline, 30 years ago was making less than $500 a month with a traditional network marketing company model, who then developed a formula 7 years later, after really learning a lot, again, through his failures. You know, I faced foreclosure, bankruptcy, car repossession. He went through that as well, but then was able to through fast forward to today, 29 years later from his original start, to have record-breaking earnings, sales in the last 10 years. Again, he was making $1 million every 3 weeks, and now has supported over 45 people to earn over $1 million. Next slide. So with our leadership under Holden Buggs, we also have Terrence Gray, who's the Vice President of Operations, Mark Kifkart, the Vice President of Marketing. Those two guys, they dropped everything and came running to work with us. David Manning, of course, was the owner of our technology that we're going to talk about tonight. The original structure of the company was already in place and already very successful because they were in the travel industry. And then, of course, Peter Hirsch is our Chief Giving Officer. Edwin Haynes, our Global Master Ambassador, who's already a millionaire with our company. And we've only been open 1 year ago today. Today's our 1 year anniversary or birthday, whatever you want to call it, that we're celebrating. And so we're going to share some more of those numbers in a little bit. And then, of course, Lori Spears is the director of travel. And she's been in the travel industry for 30 years. And she almost, by herself, mind you, by herself, makes almost $1 million in income. Next slide. So we've already kind of teed it up. We're bringing this vision to the world, starting with travel through the PRIB, Perpetual Residual Income Builder. So you see that picture there of the PRIB is meant to look like Amazon Alexa. So if you have the Amazon Alexa, and maybe you don't, there's the Echo, there's all these different things, you can actually call upon it and say, I want this, and it can show up at your door. You get support through this highly artificial intelligence. So go ahead on the next slide. So just like I said, we have data analytics built in through our artificial intelligence. If you've ever ordered something online, and then for the next 2 or 3 days, all you saw were pop-up ads on Facebook, in your email, and all these different things showing up, that's what that is. People are studying what you're buying. If you use Amazon Alexa, they're studying what you're talking about. We're living in an age where my kids who are 7 and 11, they're going to be able to, think about something and it's just going to appear. It's a different time. So we're here to share that with you. The other component, perfect timing on that, Karen, is we have the ability to follow up with your customers so you don't have to, right? I've been in sales for over 20 years now, and the number one thing that salespeople struggle with is follow-up. Over about 50% of salespeople or people in business just in general, they don't follow up after that first contact. Studies have shown that. So now we're going to do that for you through world-class people power, as well as upsell them on all of our future verticals, because we have more than travel already, but we're going to keep adding. And then, of course, your team is going to be followed up on with welcomes, orientations, and basically the PRIB is going to do for you what you oftentimes have difficulties doing for yourself. Next slide. So again, travel is our front door. Just like Amazon started with books, right? I don't know if you remember that, but Amazon started with used books, right? Who would have thought of that, right? Barnes & Noble didn't think of that, and look what happened to them. So now look at Amazon. So we're leading with travel, which we call ourselves the Uber of travel. And on the back end, we're going to have an Amazon philosophy. So as you can see here, travel is an actually almost 8.8 trillion. It just says 8 trillion here. And even with the coronavirus, people are still traveling. They might not be getting on a plane. They might be staying local or driving. But even if the coronavirus cut this in half, that's still $4 trillion a year. And it's not going to be cut in half. I can guarantee you that. Asia, $6 billion a day. Europe, $4.8 billion a day. US, $2.8 billion a day. Excuse me. And so on and so forth. And then the other thing that I didn't know, because I didn't know travel was an $8 trillion a year industry, is Booking Holdings and Expedia Group are the two companies that are here today who own all 45 of the websites that you and I have been shopping on for at least a decade, thinking that we're getting a deal, but we're still paying retail. And over $190 billion in 2018 is incredible. Same retail. Excuse me, guys, I have a tickle in my throat. So we pass the savings on to you and can give you wholesale prices. Next slide. So here are some examples. So New York City, 4.5-star hotel. Paris, France, 4-star hotel. New York City, this is a rental car agency. And you can see it. These are documented savings on the bottom here. Savings of $1,341.12. Savings of $316. Savings of $1,589. And it's just incredible. My first 2 trips, I saved over $2,000. We've had travel agents who just signed on with us because their business has been really negatively impacted by the coronavirus, and they're sharing the free customer sites with their clients, and they're making money while a lot of other travel agents are not. And it's because of these amazing wholesale savings that we're passing on to our clients. Next slide. So really creating a one-stop shop for all things travel. You can see here, our goal is to create 5-star lifestyle at 3-star prices. So it's not just travel, it's shore excursions, theme parks. We bought our Legoland tickets through this. We've seen people do Disney tickets through this. Outdoor activities. If you're going on spring break pretty soon, like I know we are, we're going to be using the activities because it's just so much fun and so many limitless options. We have wine club, golf club. If you're a golfer, that's huge. Some of the best golf clubs and resorts around the world. We're in 186 countries, guys, and that's amazing. We also have 110% price match guarantee. So if you were to find a lower rate somewhere else, we're going to go ahead and refund you 110% of the difference. And then, of course, we also now, besides travel, lifestyle, entertainment, restaurants, golf and wine, we also have our own rideshare company. Next slide. So here's how it works. So you see on the left hand of the screen, there's an ambassador platform. That's what I have. That's what Karen has. That's what you can have if you choose to invest and partner with us. In this example, I saved 41% at Cancun, this all-inclusive 5-star resort. Instead of paying $1,046, I saved $424 and paid only $621 total. So that was a 41%. Now, my customer, who I gave a free site to one time, just one time, I didn't have to follow up. I didn't have to worry about a cancellation fee or an auto ship, none of that. They can use the site for the rest of their life for free. They save 20%. So they saved $212, which is about 50% of my savings, right? So if you look on the right-hand side here, 50% of that referring ambassador, which is me, I got paid 50% of their savings. So they saved $212 and I got paid $106, which is amazing. So the product has to work in order for me to get paid. So you have to save $2 in order for me to get paid $1. And then of course we get paid multiple ways, and it's converted to a commissionable volume that goes into our compensation plan. Next slide. So in this simple example, and I've worked not just with travel agents, I've worked with realtors, I've worked with the health insurance, I've worked with insurance agents, I've also worked with mortgage brokers. A whole variety of people have invested in this model, not only just to save up to 80%, which is what we can save as ambassadors. They also wanted the ability to refer friends and family, just like they did with Facebook, Uber, and Amazon, only we didn't get paid on that, right? Here, you get paid for acquiring customers. And in this example, 10 customers that saved annually $600, which is data based on 20 years of the original technology's existence. They got paid $6,000. We get paid half of that, which is $3,000. What would you have to do to earn an extra $3,000 a year? Maybe you know someone whose current career is impacted by this health crisis called Corona that's all over the world. There's a lot of states who have emergencies and people, their jobs are compromised for it, right? So this could be a great opportunity for them. Next slide. We also have what we call the team builder model. Now remember, we did mention earlier, there's no selling or recruiting necessarily required. If you're just looking at this as a long-term investment, residual income, legacy wealth, willable to your children, your children's children, something that's done in very, very part-time, you can just refer websites to people as little or as much as you want. However, I will tell you, Karen said in our first 30 days, we signed up 30 people. Half of those people signed up just to acquire the savings. They weren't thinking about referring people, but once they started saving the money, they started referring people, and they could get 10 customers easily. And if you had 50 people that decided, you know what, I want to save up to 80% like you, Lois, and they all just happen to refer 10 people, and I'm almost betting I can't guarantee any income or anything like that, of course, but I'm almost betting that you know 10 people who travel every year. So here we are, one of the fastest growing segments of travel. Of course, we've added the rideshare industry with Vibe rides. And I'm going to talk a little bit more on the next slide about what that looks like. So here's a visual really quickly. The iGo is still the front door of the PRIBT. And we celebrated our anniversary today, and we already have 500,000 customers, right? Isn't that crazy? 500,000 people are already using this technology. We've helped over 500,000 people save over $1.2 million in travel savings alone. And now we have Vibe. Then we're going to have something else. Then we're going to have something else. I think, can we go back one slide? There we go. Nope. There you go. Perfect. Nope. Go down again. And we're going backwards. There we go. One more. There we go. Perfect. So the rideshare industry is all about timing, right? If you and I could go back and invest in Uber before anybody even saw it coming, and Uber said, here, we want you to refer all your friends and family to these apps, both the driver and the rider app, for free, and you got paid on every single ride and every single drive for the rest of their days and your days, do you think we might all be living on an island somewhere right now? Possibly. So the rideshare industry right now is 24.4 billion. It's going to grow to 103 billion. And then the transportation industry, which is when you think of Uber Eats, when you think of Grubhub, when you think of Bite Squad, I mean, how many of us have ordered food, have it delivered? I met a gal in Miami when I was launching this rideshare in Miami. She lives 1 block from Starbucks, 1 block. At 6 a.m. in the morning, she hadn't showered. She was in her jammies, whatever. And she started her workday at 6 a.m. and she did not want to walk to Starbucks. She did not want to leave her house. She called Uber Eats and paid double. And Starbucks is not cheap, as we all know, right? So she paid double for her coffee, which was probably already $5, to have it delivered to her 1 block home away from Starbucks. So we know the transportation industry is huge, and we're a part of that as well. Next slide. So this is what we call next generation rideshare. So if you, again, invest in us and partner with us, there's 3 ways for you to earn. Now, if you are already a driver for Uber or Lyft, guess what? Now you can add us to the mix. So you can earn not only when you drive for us, and we are going to pay higher compensation. We're paying 70% on your first 50 rides, and then adding another 5% for 75% on any rides after that on a monthly scale, on a monthly basis. Every month you start over. And of course, you can refer other drivers and you can refer other customers. So you can earn 3 different ways. But wait, there's more. Next slide. Here's an example if you chose to come on board with us and recruit drivers. So keep in mind, you can make true money while you sleep. Oftentimes, if you drive for Uber or Lyft, you have to always be driving, right, to get paid. I met a guy in Houston who was driving for 12 hours, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which actually isn't necessarily the heightened period to get paid, but he didn't want to work nights. He wanted to sleep, and he wanted to see his family. And so he drove those 6 hours to make $140. And that was before he paid his gas, right? So in this example, you can recruit other people and create leverage. On this $100 fare breakdown, of course, you get still paid if you were the driver, but let's say you weren't. Let's say there was another driver that you had recruited. You would get $3 on that, and then it goes additional $3 in what we call the drive share pool. Again, we're not going to go deep into the compensation plan, but we're just showing you how there's 5 different ways that someone is getting paid for referring this driver. If you also referred the rider, you get another $3, and then another $3 goes through the ride share pool. And then ultimately, what we have is multiple streams of income, and you've nourished a child through that ride as well. Every time a rider rides or a driver drives or someone travels, we nourish starving children. Next slide. So the question is, do you boomerang? Yes, I do. If not, you will soon. Next slide. So we have, and we're in the process of recreating our own smart codes. They're not out yet. Those are coming. We have our own code. Whenever we get a customer, I activated some today, pretty much on a daily basis. We have fortunately activated almost 1,100 customers. And so if you get a customer, you get a driver, you get a rider, doesn't matter, they're going to have their own unique code. And they just go to a website. They can do that on their own, or you can do it for them. And the codes are smart. They're going to take your customers to you, and they'll be customers for life. And as you can see on the bottom there, we've already fed over 4.4 million proper servings of nutrition. That was just 2019. As the time of this recording, we've fed nearly 7 million children since the first of the year and last year. Next slide. So really quickly, we do have an amazing bonus. Your timing couldn't be better if you're finding this right now. It's March 11th, 2020 at the time of this recording. This is in YouTube, so you might want to reach out to whoever invited you, or reach out to me and see where we're at with this particular bonus. But right now, if you can bring on 2 people this month in March, your income will drastically increase in the month of April. So we're getting bonuses upon bonuses upon bonuses like never before, because the owner is generous. And after the first year, we've paid out $20 million in commissions. We've had $40 million in revenues. Our company is doing awesome. Next slide. Another way you get paid, besides the bonuses that you saw there, is, of course, the dual team commission bonus, which is paid out 10 to 20% every single week. You'll also get paid on those riders and drivers every single week. So you can make max $250,000 per week, which is not too shabby if you ask me. If you're looking to make $500 a month, we can get you there. If you're looking to make 6 to 7 figures a month or a week, we can get you there with all of the different ways that we get paid. Next slide. So how do you invest with us? How do you partner with us? How do you get the rights and the privileges and the honor to make residual income, money, true money while you sleep, true wealth versus wages? Instead of making dollars per hour, you can make true wealth with this opportunity. And it's all up to you what that looks like. But everyone has an equal opportunity to get started, and that's with $49.95. Gives you the right to have customer savings. You still don't have wholesale yet. You get 5 Boomerang customer sites to send out, 25% of direct travel savings bonus commissions, 25% of referral commissions. You get an amazing marketing video. A lot of people don't want to do presentations like this, and that's perfect. You don't have to. Let the technology do the work for you. You'll also get your own online management system. And if you only stop there, which 95% of people don't, you'll have a $49.95 monthly subscription fee to maintain an active position with the company. But again, that's temporary. The next slide will show you where the money is. So if you want wholesale travel savings, you sign up at $49.95 plus Coach, Business, or First Class. So Coach, if you want to follow along, is $250. For your own wholesale pricing, you get hotels, flights, and rental cars. Now, flights, I want to mention, are competitive. You can't count on those savings. Those are more hit or miss. So really, it's the hotels and the rental cars. Then for $500, just $250 more, you get to add cruises to that. So I'm going from left to right. And then first class is $1,000. That's what most of us have done. That's what me and my husband did, because we saw the vision. We wanted the biggest return on our investment. And if you like ROI, then first class is for you. But again, we don't care where you get started. We just care you pick the best one for you. But with that, you can see at the top of that first class section, you get business class plus homes, weeks, market share, lifestyle, and timeshare. So you have way, 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 way more limitless possibilities for savings. Then Coach class, you get 10 Boomerang customer sites to refer people out to. Now keep in mind, underneath there, it says you get only 50% of the total cash commissions owed to you. So you're leaving money on the table at coach class. So you actually only get paid 25% of what's possible. But if that's where you start, you know, that's great. As you're in the system, you can start creating residual income that way. But just for $250 more, you can more than double your income right out of the gate, because you get more than double the Boomerang customer sites. And that's about a $7,500 asset there in your first year, just with those 25 boomerangs alone. Then if the first class, of course, you get 50 boomerangs, 50 customer sites, which is valued at about 15 grand return on investment. Then, if you remember, we talked a little bit about the dual team bonus. That's one person on your left, one person on your right, 2 paid members. That activates that dual team commission bonus, and now we're getting paid on both sides if you get 2 people to sign on. So it's 10% at coach, 12% at business, 15% at first class. And that may not seem like a huge difference, but let me put it this way. It's like when I was in real estate. If I was selling a $200,000 house and my commission went up 2% or 5%, that was a huge difference in my income. So if you're bringing on people who are bringing on people and you have that team of paid members, it's growing, you're leaving money on the table if you're at coach or business. But again, start where it's best for you. And then last but not least, they talk about general release, VIP level 2 reservations, VIP level 1. If you're at first class, you hear about all of the trips and excursions, members only, that come out right away, and they sell out. So oftentimes a week later, they could be sold out already, but business class has second dibs. Coach class has last, you know, whatever is left over. So you make the call on what's best for you. And no matter which one you do, it's $99.95 a month return. Reoccurring subscription fee. So basically, you can get started now. Please go ahead and talk to whoever invited you and ask them, you know, how to get started, and they'll enroll you. And I just want to presumptuously welcome you to the family. You know, part of what we want to do here is wrap our arms around you or link arms around you. And whether you're an investor mindset person and you really just want to share this with all your friends and family and create a long-term residual income, or if you want to be more of a builder and sell the paid memberships and recruit, you know, or anything in between, we really just want to help you reach your goals and dreams and have more money at the end of the month and pay off your debt. We're all about financial responsibility and training you on how to think and grow rich and really be able to leave that legacy. And our children's lives will never ever be the same because we've been able to travel the world with this company. So if you have a family, if you have grandchildren, you know, we just want to hear about all your stories and your goals and your dreams. So again, get with whoever invited you, get enrolled, and we'll have some fast start training and game planning for you so you can get your money back right away. And I believe with that, Karen, there's no other slides, is there? Let's do the disclaimer. As always, iBuumerang cannot and will not make any guarantees about your ability to make money. We've had people who've made no money other than the savings, which in and of itself, a penny saved is a penny earned. And then we've had people who've made $1 million and everything in between. So we will support you with world-class leadership and training and follow through and helping you with the PRIBT. But again, we can't make any income claims. So thank you again for being here, and I want to wish you all the best.